Clayton Thomas-Muller is a Cree activist and community organizer from northern Manitoba. He traveled to the UN Climate Change Conference to advocate for Indigenous communities whose lands and health are being threatened by massive oil projects.
IEN, has been around since 1990, and we've been working to fight to protect the sacredness of Mother Earth from toxic contamination and corporate exploitation. We're a network comprised of about 250 Alaska Native, First Nations, and Native American communities from the North Slope of Alaska all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico.
We always like to bring spirit. We always like to invoke that spirit, to ask the Creator to bless our actions. And so, in a good way, I just want to acknowledge first and foremost the people of this land.
The IEN works on a couple of different platforms, most notably our Native Energy and Climate Program, which is the reason why we're here in Copenhagen participating in the international climate negotiations. We have seen such incredible pressure placed upon the backs of North America's Indigenous peoples as a result of Canada and the United States' energy policy. Many people do not realize that 35% of the fossil fuels in the United States, and probably even more in Canada, are directed or are placed or based directly under First Nations or Native American or Alaska Native homelands. And this creates immense pressure on our communities.
Where I come from, it's a beautiful land. I come from 160 miles downriver of the tar sands. I'm affected.
This has created a situation where our homelands, our way of life, are experiencing a second wave or a third or a fourth wave, depending on how you look at it, of neocolonialism through energy policy. Only this time, instead of church and state coming into our communities and finding ways to expropriate our lands, to commit cultural ethnocide on our people, it's oil and state. And instead of Catholicism being the religion, the new religion is capitalism.
We have to stop the tar sands! Shut down the tar sands! It is destroying my community. My family in the community of Fort Chipewyan are dying of cancer. The rivers and the lakes are poisoned. It is my people that are paying the price.
Our organization is here to bring a message to the U.S. government and to Prime Minister Stephen Harper of the Harper minority government to basically let them know that we will not stand for this type of oppression. We will not stand for an energy policy that sacrifices our communities and our way of life for the benefit of communities thousands of kilometers away. What we have observed here, of course, is the systematic erosion of democracy. As world leaders have arrived here in Copenhagen, we see 99.9% of civil society excluded from the Bella Center, where the international negotiations are happening.
The Prime Minister of Canada, Mr. Harper, the representative of the oil industry and capital of the oil industry in Calgary, that you are killing our river, that you are killing our way of life, our culture, our Dinachanya, all of our sacred lands that we have is being affected.
We came to Copenhagen to challenge political leadership from Canada, from the United States. Part of that challenge included, marching on the U.S. Embassy with representatives of the Red Oil Network resisting environmental destruction on Indigenous lands.
And the land is asking for our help. The land is what sustains me.
Join us next week when we travel to Western Canada, where we'll meet one Indigenous community that has won the right to harvest and market seafood in their territory.